We back. Man, y'all already know what time it is.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Man, y'all already know what time it is, man. It's a 50-50 show. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Hey, the Raiders have continued. I think that since the last show, which was around the Shield last Thursday, man, like we said, Raiders are going to be looking to fill out their coaching staff, which is, obviously, I would say just as important, especially when you think about the development of the team and the success of the team. We all want to get a head coach, but we also want the OC, well, in this case, defensive coordinator hire to be on point. We still haven't hired an offensive line coach. That's something that, that I'm kind of a little concerned, but we'll get into that in a little bit, man. We appreciate everybody pulling up. We're gonna get into all of the usual 50-50 topics, man. Flag on the play, notable quotables, what's real, what's not, all that good stuff. Severe, what's good, bro? Have you been paying attention to this team and what's going on? Like, are you happy with some of the moves that you've been hearing? Salute to everybody pulling up, by the way.
It's I've been following it. Hey, real talk, my dog Rundown. Hey, if y'all haven't already, y'all make sure y'all tap in with Raider Rundown on YouTube and all social medias. He been the person to keep me up on game, bro. I'll be at work. I'll be dadding it up, with my son and with my daughter. So I'll be in like full work mode, full dad mode, or be doing work at home, man. So if I'm not doing the show, like I don't be having time to really be investing in everything. Rundown and keep me up on game, man. So shout out to my dog, man.
Salute to Rundown.
Shout out to my dog.
Yep.
He wrong about Kubiak and Mendoza, but hey, he keep me up on the news, though. He keep me up on the news.
We're gonna have to get on. We're gonna have to get Rundown on here soon. Salute to everybody pulling up. Was good, Jack. My guy DK in the building. Salute. Appreciate you, King of Mods in the building, man, coming through.
Serious.
No, it's all good, man. I know we've been we're adjusting the schedule. We're adjusting the schedule for real, man. But join us when you can. Obviously, watch the replay if you can't watch the show, man. It's all good. Was good. Franklin in the building, man. Appreciate you pulling up. We'll get into that, man. We'll get into that. He says, I think Flores was shit. He's trying to say whatever credibility he think he has. Yeah, we all know Florio is a favorite of Raider Nation for sure. Yay, Black Sales. Man, we gotta get him. We gotta get him on the show, man. Hopefully on Around the Shield or something like that. Come through and chop it up. I know he has his takes on the team. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. So be good to have him on the show.
For sure.
Andrew in the building. Shohei Ohtani is in the 50-50 club.
He is the only person in the 50-50 club.
There you go. Future Hall of Famer for sure.
For sure.
I don't. You know what, man? F that, man. I'm be honest with you. Barry Bonds need to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not gonna call nobody a future Hall of Famer.
Sure.
If Barry Bonds ain't in the Hall of Fame, I ain't calling nobody a future Hall of Famer. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. It's just, baseball politics is crazy. It's crazy. Salute to everybody pulling up. Raider First Down says salute Severe, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Andrew.
Salute to you, brother. It's Jason Downs, man. He got a podcast too, man. So tap in with him. Head over there, support our guy Jason Downs. I saw my guy Chris in here earlier too. Shout out to my guy Chris.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming through. We got everybody pulling up today, man. Was good. Hey, man, let's just get into it, man. So I know the Raiders have hired their offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, D-line coach, a couple of position coaches on the defensive side of the ball. Nothing that like really, like all of them is like, okay. Nothing like where I'm like, oh man, watch out for this guy. I'm still waiting for that offensive line coach, man. I'm still waiting for that offensive line coach because for me, it's been an issue the last few seasons. It's like we have to make sure that they, like, for me to feel good, like how I feel good about a team is when I see some type of improvement on something that was a weakness.
Yeah.
And if I still see it being a problem, then it makes me feel like whoever is in charge is incompetent. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, you know, I think we can all agree that, like, offensive line has to be corrected. We all know that everything on this team can't be addressed or get better. You know, not everything can get better in one offseason. We all know the Raiders got a whole lot of holes and a lot of different positions that need to be addressed at some point, whether it's this offseason, the next. We all know that, right? But the offensive line has to be a priority, and it starts with the coaching staff. And that offensive line coach is something I'm paying attention to. And I was hoping, you know, I was kind of warmed up to that idea of getting, I think Benton was the offensive line coach for Seattle, who's a guy that followed Kubiak everywhere he's been. I mean, at least, you know, from the Saints. He was with him with the Saints, and then he obviously followed him to Seattle. So I'm not sure if he chooses to come to Vegas, or I'm not sure if it would be considered a lateral move if he can come to the Raiders. The Raiders did steal a coach from the Giants, from John Harbaugh's coaching staff, but it was like a different position coach. Like I'm talking about Matt Robinson, who was hired as the secondary coach. Yeah. I think he held the linebacker coach position, and maybe the D-line coach. It's because he's kind of been jumping all over that side of the ball as far as position coaches go. He's kind of been going all over. Maybe he's trying to, like, you know, position himself for a defensive coordinator job. You know, you go from the D-line, you go to linebacker, every level, to secondary. Okay, what's the next move? Okay, I see what you're trying to do here. Playing chess, not checkers. So he went ahead and just took the opportunity to come to the Raiders, which some people are saying, like, oh, that's a good sign that Kubiak was able to steal a coach from John Harbaugh's coaching staff. But I
mean, you know how people be trying to find silver linings wherever they can. Because I think he was on the staff. I don't know if he was actually had an official role with the Giants yet. He was on the staff previously with the Ravens. He was the offensive line, outside linebackers coach, and he assisted with D-line. I don't even know if that was officially in his title, but he was more outside linebacker. I think they ran a 3-4, so, you know, you kind of assist with the D-line, so we kind of melt that in there. And the Raiders have him listed exclusively as safeties coach. So could that role expand, or maybe they make him secondary coach overall? I don't know, because Joe Woods is still here. He's a passing game coordinator. So I don't know, you know, if we will have an official secondary coach, or will we just have separate position coaches, like a cornerbacks coach, a safeties coach, and then Joe Woods will kind of be the guy that is the umbrella over all of those guys. You know, that remains to be seen. Sometimes teams do it that way, where they have just a secondary coach and they have other guys under there, and sometimes they have it, you know, where each person is just listed individually under each particular role, and that's how it is. That's how it's looking right now.
You're right. He's a safeties coach. I said he was secondary coach. So the way the Raiders have it set up is Joe Wood. Yeah, you're right. Joe Woods is still listed as the DB coach, pass game coordinator, and then Matt Robinson is a safeties coach. Kenyon Jackson is assistant D-line. Travis Smith is obviously a guy that was just hired as a D-line coach. Yeah. Rob Leonard. That was a
John
guy.
Barenthal.
That was a guy that I was kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, if he got hired as a DC, I was like, I wouldn't be mad at it, but I wouldn't be like, oh, man, like, it's a home run. But maybe you can say, because a lot of people obviously they connected the dots and said, oh, whoa, that is a Max Crosby guy. You hire his D-line coach, a guy that he's been high on. He's had on his show podcast. Like, you can tell, like, there's a close bond between them, close connection.
Yeah.
And you hire him as the DC. Maybe that's a sign of the Raiders saying, like, hey, Max, we still want you to be here. Or it could mean nothing. It could mean nothing. And to go back to what Daniel Kim was saying earlier, DK, man, shout out to my guy. He was talking about the Mike Florio report, where he said that, kind of saying that the Raiders still not out on shorts. they still can bring him on as a veterinarian or a high defensive assistant head coach. I mean, they kind of hired Mike McCoy that's another guy. So Raiders have been busy filling out their staff. Mike McCoy, former head coach of the Chargers, I believe. He was an interim head coach, I think, for the Titans last season. They hired him as an assistant coach and probably a senior offensive assistant. But, add some experience to the coaching staff.
Yeah. I'll be laughing. I'm laughing at two things because first of all, I know you're trying to say veteran, but you were thinking of another word too. So you said veterinarian. I was like, you got. I was like, I'm gonna let my dog keep rocking. I ain't gonna stop him. He in that mode right now. He in the zone. I ain't gonna say that. But I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing, thinking that like it's funny, like how fans will. Based on like their personal preference, they'll like let other stuff slide. So like, because Clint Kubiak is a Bronco, right? Clint Kubiak is a Bronco. Mike McCoy is a Charger. Like, had this been somebody else doing this hiring or hiring people like this, they would have been cooking. They would have been sauteing. Like, we don't want no Chargers. We don't want no chokers over here. We don't want any donkeys over here. But because the fans wanted Clint Kubiak, he gets a pass. He's cool. Clint Kubiak is all good. Do what they want to.
Couldn't let it go, man. I think couldn't let it slide today, huh?
I was gonna make a joke. I was gonna be like, we need a veterinarian because we about to draft all these dogs. So I was gonna say something like that. I was like,
nah, you just had to go for the kill on that one. You had to go for the kill. Y'all not gonna let it go too. It's all good. It's all good. Like I said, man, for me, it's the offensive line coach, man. That's the biggest elephant in the room. Like, all these guys, cool. We know Luke Steckel. He's staying in as its tight ends coach. That's cool. That's nice. Rob Leonard getting a DC job. I'm not mad at that. Give him opportunity. We'll see how it looks
Steckel
like
for now, though. We'll see about Steckel because just as of last night, Dylan McCullough still had a job. This morning, he woke up unemployed.
That's true. The running back coach. The Raiders are looking for a new running back coach because they let go their previous guy who they kept. So they must feel good about him for them to keep him because if you remember, they let go there are some coaches that they let go outright. We all know, like the Carrolls. You know what I mean? They just as soon as the season was over, it was like, okay, it's time to go. It's time to go. You know what it is. This is man. We're gonna get into a clip because it kind of I can't wait to get to it. The notable quotable, Rich Gannon talking about like, how the Raiders kind of embrace Clint Kubiak. And I told you this. I remember I was telling you, I was like, man, if the way the Raiders are treating Clint Kubiak compared to old man Pete, it's like night and day. It was night and day. It's not even close. Like Pete Carroll was like, hey, look, it's Pete Carroll. Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Hey, that's the coach right there. Hey, man. Like, it wasn't, man, I don't know. We'll get into that. We'll get into that conversation. But
Pete had a solid press conference. AP, they didn't do a damn thing for AP. They didn't do a shit for AP. They didn't do a damn thing for AP. Pete had his press conference was solid. It was him and Spy Tech, I want to say. So that was a cool one. Marshawn was there. I think a few other guys showed up too, but they didn't bring out the legends. Like, I think Mark Davis threw up the bat signal. Was like, hey man, we need y'all, bro. We down bad right now. We need some fan service. Like, you know what it reminded me of? Speaking of, because somebody threw it in the chat too. It was like an episode of The Simpsons where Mark McGuire was on there, and he was like, do you want to hear the ugly, dark truth about baseball, or do you want to see me slug some dingers? And they were like, dingers, and that's what like Mark Davis is doing. Like, do you want to hear why the Raiders have been such a terrible organization for so many years, or do you want to see Rich Gannon and Howie Long come back? Like, it was like Rich Gannon, like, that's what he did. It's like, so it's like it's fan service, bro. It's just all fan service.
it's fan service, but you're trying, but it's a lot of dressing it up. Like it's a lot of hype. It's a lot of like,
Oh yeah.
we got our guy. Like they're celebrating. It was almost kind of a
yeah.
celebration of
for sure.
of getting Kubiak. It's a celebration, and like I said, we'll get into that. We'll get into that notable quotable. Rich Gannon talking about, you know, Clint Kubiak and how the Raiders embraced him behind the scenes, you know, AKA, you know, just to give y'all a preview, kind of how they embraced Tom Brady when he first came in the building. There's a clip out there. I remember that clip of as soon as I seen that clip, as soon as I seen that clip of how they embraced Tom Brady, and everybody in the building was just, you know, standing ovation. I was like, oh, okay, Tom Brady's here to do something. He's here something to do. Like, for all the people that was like, oh, that's what I thought was so funny, because people were like, oh, Tom Brady's he's just here to, you know, he's just you know, he's just gonna help bring in guys because of his name and da 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 da. I'm like, no. I think he's here to make decisions. But,
for sure.
You know,
we've had at the time.
Yeah.
As soon as you saw that, he made everybody in the entire building like, I stop with your work. I don't give a damn what you're doing. Come over here. Tom Brady's here. You better greet this man. You got to stand up and give this man a standing ovation.
Not facts, man. It's funny just comparing. It's funny. Just compare it. Just compare it. Like, damn. Like, it kind of tells you a lot about how they feel. You know, actions speak louder than words. So Rob Leonard, is he a guy that, like, would you say like is a guy that you take a risk on to bring in as a DC? Because, like, the reason why I ask is, like, is he someone, like, if the Raiders have the worst defense in the NFL, do you continue to keep him? Because there's going to be circumstances, because the Raiders probably they're going to be it's going to be a lot of patchwork again on that defense. They're going to probably add some young talent there, but not enough to cover the entire defense. So he has excuses already built in for him to be there for the long run. But, like, you know, there's a little bit of a risk with Rob Leonard. I mean, it's also like a bet on him being a guy that can be a good DC too.
Yeah. In terms of Rob Leonard, you know, I feel slightly better about the Clint Kubiak hire than I do about the Rob Leonard hire. Like, Clint Kubiak, it was okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Like, I'm not mad at that. Feel the same way about Rob Leonard. Like, I feel better about Kubiak than I do Leonard, but it's in the same tier of, okay, I don't hate it, but I'm not like doing backflips, jumping for joy over it, or I'm not like, oh my God, this is the worst thing the Raiders have done. What are you doing, you fools? It's just, you know, it's kind of meh for me. Like, I will say this, like, the thing about the Rob Leonard hire that makes me question some things. It makes me question Kubiak. Because I don't want to say it's like a Brendan Carroll situation, but it's like it leads me to believe that Kubiak didn't do his pre-work. Like, you know, like when you have a course, you're taking a course, or you're taking a class, or you going to get licensed in something. Sometimes you got to do your pre-work before you get there to kind of establish a baseline. So when you get there, okay, you kind of know what you need to do or what you need to work on, or instructor knows, okay, like when I got my CPR license, I had to do like pre-work before I even get to the class, and I had to show them I did my pre-work before they would even accept me in the class. And it's like the Raiders, they didn't expect Kubiak to do any pre-work. Like, his plan could not have been like, yeah, and when Robbie Leonard's going to be my defensive coordinator. Like, bitch, how? Like, he works for us. Like, so, like, was that going to be your plan if you got a job somewhere else? Like, you know, that couldn't have been your plan, right? So it makes me think that, like, if I know I'm going to be a head coach somewhere, and I know that I'm getting looks elsewhere, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start reaching out to people within my organization or outside of my organization that I have ties to say, look, man, it's a strong possibility I'm gonna get a head coaching job this year. I don't know what's gonna happen with you and your team, but if I get this head coaching job, hey, would you be interested in being my defensive coordinator? Yo, bro, you know, we worked together in the past. Like, I might get a job somewhere. If I get this job somewhere, would you have interest in being my offensive coordinator? Like, that's what I'm going to do. right? Just if my job now, if I leave my job right now, there are people that work for me on my staff right now that already know, yo, if I get any kind of decision making at my new spot, yo, I'm bringing you over here. Like, I like what you did for me. Hey, you get my day organized. You keep me on task. I don't gotta when I'm in meetings, you handling stuff for me. You flagging my you flagging my emails as urgent for me. Oh, Bill, you on point. Okay, if I go somewhere else, I'm bringing you because you A1. Like, they know that already. They off top, and I've established that. So unless they not getting as much as they getting there, or unless some other circumstances keep them from coming, they know they coming with me. And you would think that a guy like Kubiak, who's been a guy for essentially this entire year, who's been in kind of head coaching talks, you think he would have done that pre-work. But it didn't seem he ain't done that pre-work. So when you ain't done the pre-work, that's when you kind of, it seems like you settle for a guy like Rob Leonard.
I think it's just the reality of I hear what you're saying, but I think it's the reality of coaching so late into the playoff process. And the thing is, Clint Kubiak, to be honest, it's his first year, kind of being part of that mix. Like, a great example of what you're saying done right is Ben Johnson.
Exactly.
But the reason why it was done right is because he was a part of the coaching cycles multiple times. And to be honest with you, he respectfully passed like 2-3 years in a row. So he had time to he had time. What I'm saying is he had a lot of time to think about what he was going to do and how he was going to go about it. A guy like Clint Kubiak, like as the season went along, top offense, his name created a buzz. Like, it was like, it's kind of new to him. And I think the Raiders kind of helped him out by keeping some of the assistant coaches on staff. So I think that was like a sign of them trying to help him out and, give him a little bit of, help trying to fill out his staff because, we all know that he coached all the way into the Super Bowl. But I hear what you're saying, but I don't want to hold it against him because it's like, man. Yeah, in a perfect world, like it's good to – because it would have been perfect if we had a Dennis Allen type of DC. You know what I mean? And that's who Ben Johnson hired. Dennis Allen, former head coach. We all know he's not a head coach type of guy, but as a DC, he's pretty respected around the league. Like, he's a solid DC around the NFL. He's coached some good defenses as a defensive coordinator. Whether you want to go back all the way to the Broncos, to the Saints, the Raiders, it would have been nice if they could have grabbed maybe a Schwartz, but we all know the situation is kind of like up in the air. We don't know if he's available. Outside of him, I'm trying to think who would have been a connection to Clint Kubiak outside of.
I don't know if did it have to be a connection because
or not even a connection. Who would have been available? I'm trying to think who would have been available in DC.
Jonathan Gannon, former Arizona head coach.
Do you like his defense though? Do you like his defense? His defense is kind of simple and plain.
He's a guy. He was good enough to get a head coaching job.
Yeah, but
Leslie,
because of the Eagles, because of the Eagles'
Leslie
success.
Frazier. Yeah, Leslie Frazier is a guy that works for the Seahawks. Was a veteran defensive guy, former head coach. I think he's a guy that off top, it's an immediate guy that you get the respect in the locker room, and you have a guy that you can lean on. But him. He's in the Seahawks organization, and he's done a job in the past. And like I said, he's been a head coach before, so he's a guy that you can be a sounding board for you. You can, hey, Leslie, what you think about this? Coach Frazier, what you think about that? Coach Frazier, what you think about this? Oh, Coach Frazier, how do we handle this, right? Obviously, he didn't do a great job as head coach, but he's a guy that, sometimes a failure is the best teacher, right? So he'll know some of the pitfalls I had when I was a head coach. Make sure you avoid this, make sure you avoid that. And like I said, he already has a connection to Kubiak because he worked in Seattle with them as an assistant. So that's the guy off top right there. Bam, defensive coordinator. I think that's a good hire because a guy like when you're Kubiak and you're going to run the offensive side of the ball, I'm not as worried about offensive coaches because that's your wheelhouse. And you're going to be a guy that's doing all the game planning, all the play calling for the most part. So you're going to spend most of your time on the offense. So the guy that's defensive coordinator, he's going to be basically running the show damn near independently, right? So he has to be a guy that knows what he's doing, or he has to be able to lock that side of the ball down. And I'm not saying that Robbie Leonard can't do it, I'm just saying he's never had to do it.
Mhm.
So just to throw him that responsibility and just have full autonomy right now and be working damn near independently without much oversight from the head coach, that could create issues. One thing I will say is that, Joe Woods is a guy that has connections to Kubiak, the Kubiak family and the Clint specifically. They work together. So, maybe there was some, he knew he had some expertise on Robert Leonard, and he kind of knew, okay, bam, this is a guy you can trust in the defensive coordinator role. I trust him personally, and obviously Joe Woods is still on the staff. He's a former defensive coordinator, so he can be there to kind of assist Robbie. But still, though, without that head coach involvement, I would like it to be a more experienced guy, a defensive coordinator.
Real quick, DK giving us some breaking news. My guy, King of Mods out here. He is saying that the Raiders, and I just verified this too as well. The Raiders have just hired Zach Azzanni as a wide receiver coach. He spent the last couple seasons with Pittsburgh, last 2 years. We'll see how it looks like for the Raiders. I mean, I'm looking at he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers for the last 2 seasons. He was with New York, the Jets in 2023. And then before that, he was, the wide receiver coach for the Broncos from 2018 to 2022. And he started his career with the Bears in 2017. So he's been around 10 years in the league. So Raiders, man, I'm telling you, they're on it right now. Let's see. Pretty sure he wanted Benton too. Yeah, I'm hoping they get Ben. Black Sail says, I don't know. Andrew Janoko and Dennison is the two main guys he wanted, and he brought them over.
I mean, how so? Did Clint tell you that? Is this thing if you got a direct line to Clint, brother, let me know, because I don't know who are the main guys he wanted. Because he interviewed other people as well, so I don't know if those are the main guys he wanted. And obviously, Janoko's have been a guy that he was kind of basically penciled in as his offensive coordinator. So he's followed him everywhere he's been, and anytime he was an offensive coordinator, Janoko was usually the QB coach. So that was a guy that was almost a foregone conclusion that Janoko was going to come. So, did that take much work? I don't know. And Dennison is a guy that has a relationship with the Kubiak family. He was offensive coordinator under Gary when they won the Super Bowl, I believe. So, there was a close connection there. So that was almost a foregone conclusion. But like I said, I'm not worried about the offensive side of the ball. Offensive coaches, I don't want to say you just ignore them, because you still want a competent, good staff in place. But I'm not as worried about that side of the ball, because Clint is going to be paying a lot of attention to that side of the football. It's not necessarily going to be the same on the defense side of the ball. So that's why I'm much more outside of offensive line coach and run game coordinator. I'm much more concerned about what's going on defense.
Yeah, no, I understand. Space V says Steelers wide receivers are fire. Yeah, way back when, not as recently. Now the more I look at Zach Azzanni, he was with the he was with the Broncos for 4 years, and I think that Spytek being with the Broncos might have coincided him being there. So I think Spytek is also helping.
He was there when Clint was there too.
He was there with Clint. Was there? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So Clint got there the year after they won the Super Bowl. So I think that was 2018.
2018. Okay. Yeah, and that's when he started his career. No, he started career in 2017, but he was with the Broncos starting in 2018. Okay, so there's a connection there with Clint. Because I was gonna say maybe Spytek is kind of helping him out, with helping him out filling out the staff. So that might be a possibility, especially for a first-time coach. Black Sales says, I don't think going from a position coach to coordinator is some huge leap, especially when we have seen position coaches become head coaches. It is.
When's the last time? When's the last time we saw a
defense?
position coach? When's the last time we saw a position coach go straight to head coach? Last time,
secondary coach become a head coach. Linebacker coach.
Yeah.
I've seen linebacker coaches do it.
And without the interim job in between.
That you talk maybe the Patriots when they hired after Bill Belichick.
Oh yeah, Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, because he was linebacker coach.
I think Gerard Mayo.
Brian Flores.
Gerard Mayo.
Brian Flores.
I think it was what happened?
Brian Flores.
Brian Flores. He was a DC there, wasn't he?
Brian Flores wasn't he a linebacker coach before he was head coach?
He was DC there.
I think Brian Flores was a linebacker coach before he became head coach for the Dolphins. I thought it was DC with the. He was linebacker coach with the Patriots at one point, but I thought it was DC before that. Brian Flores. Let's take a look and see.
So I thought he took over from Matt Patricia when Patricia left. I could be wrong on that.
Yep. So 2018, he was linebacker coach for the Patriots, and a linebackers coach the year prior, and he's basically position coach. Oh, he was a scout. Wow.
Yeah, that's what he started off. He started off as a scout.
Damn. That's why Brian Flores is kind of.
He worked his way up from the bottom, bro. He worked his way up from the bottom.
Damn, that's clean.
Yeah, I think so. Gerard Mayo. So I think so. The last person that was successful doing it, I guess you could say Brian Flores, because obviously Gerard Mayo failed. Last person I could think of that was successful doing it is maybe Zach Taylor. I don't think he was ever offensive coordinator. So Zach Taylor, and then that's kind of a mixed bag there.
Yeah.
And then last person before that I could think of that was successful doing it was Andy Reid.
Yeah. Damn.
So,
he started off as a scout. Damn, Brian Flores, I ain't gonna lie, man. You think he gets a head coaching job in the future? Because the way his reputation is kind of hit, it's taking he's suing the league. So the league there's that part of it that's like people think about it as like, oh man, how is he gonna get an opportunity with him suing the league? And then like now you got like Fitzpatrick, like he saying that hey, I like Brian Flores, but damn, it's gonna be a hard time him finding coaches because the way he's to do them.
It's going to be hard for him to find a head coach job. And like I said, bro, he was my number 2 guy. But it's going to be hard for him to get a job just because, first of all, he's a brother. Like, it wasn't a single brother hired this cycle. Second of all, he's a defensive guy. I think it was 2 well, depending on how you feel about John Harbaugh, he was special teams. But I think only, was it two defensive guys hired this cycle? And Mentor and Halfley, was that the only 2 defensive guys that were hired? Oh, it's Salah. So 3. I'm trying to think, was there any more defensive guys? Let me know if there's more defensive guys. So first of all, like usually there's out of 11 openings, there's 3 defensive guys that were hired. So you already got the odds against you there. And then the fact that he's kind of suing the league. So yeah, that's probably a mark against him as well. But
his background,
so it's gonna be tough for him to get a job, man. His background is clean.
It's clean, man.
It's like in terms of what he's done,
bro. And it makes sense because he was a scout, right? So he was a scout to begin his career, and the fact that he called out Herbert over Tua, and him being right about it too.
Like you don't know what you're talking about. Like, yeah, I worked as a scout for one of the most successful organizations in the NFL. You don't know what you're talking about.
You know what's so good about that too, because he helps out the GM a lot to identify the type of players that he wants on his defense.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because obviously the GM they're gonna work closely with the coaching staff to get the players that fit in their system.
Yeah.
So that's why Raiders, they need some stability because we need to keep the same system in place so then we can grow and develop the talent within that same system. But damn, I didn't know he started off as a scout. That's crazy. But yeah, he was a linebacker coach in 2018. He became head coach in 2019 with the Dolphins.
Okay.
A lot of linebacker. I feel like the linebacker coach, if it was a position coach that becomes a head coach, linebacker coach I think is like a popular one.
It's been a few. Yeah, those have been the most recent ones. Like AP was interim in between, but he was a linebackers coach and he was head coach.
But he's never had any type of head coach experience. None of that. Like, but
nothing.
Nothing.
Enough. But yeah, but like I said, like I do think there is a big leap.
But you know what he had though? You know what AP had though? I'm not gonna lie, man. This was clean.
Oh. That was clean. He had the cleanest one, bro. He done had to look outside of Greg Papa. AP got the cleanest Raiders on record.
Oh man,
And what you call it too? My boy with damn, what's the dude that used to do all the games up north? His was clean too.
Who, all the games up north? What do you mean? Like you talking about like the legendary announcer for the Raiders and the A's? Oh, you talking about Bill King?
Yeah.
Bill King?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Bill King he's a legend. Greg Papa's a legend too. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've seen like I've seen old, like I'm talking about like Laker games. Like Laker games back at, like he does basketball. He's done, obviously we all know him from
he did
Raiders.
Basketball for y'all.
Nah. I think he did a Laker. I think it might have been like it was just a random highlight. I'm like, hold up, is that Greg Papa in the background talking? Yeah. And it was like a Laker and Jazz game. It was like late 90s, maybe early 2000s.
It had to be just up north then, because the only person that did the Lakers game in the late 90s, it was Chick Hearn.
Chick Hearn,
bro. It was nobody touching.
No, but it was. I think it was a TV. Now I'm not talking about radio. Was Chick
Hearn did TV and radio.
Oh man,
Chick Hearn was like one of the first people that did TV and radio.
Yeah. I just think that what I'm saying is that he's been around for a while. You know, Papa's been doing a lot.
Greg Papa's a G. He's good, man. He's good at what he does.
Yeah.
Florida, he got on Mark Davis' bad side, bro. Mark Davis had to get your ass up out of here, bro.
Damn.
See, the 49ers stopped him up quick.
You said what? Yeah, they did. No, they did. And he's done a lot of baseball games too, especially out here in the Bay. See, like it says McCoy and Dennison, they have 50 years experience between them. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Oh no, for sure. That's what I was saying. Like those guys been on staff, and Joe Woods. Joe Woods has that's 70 years if you combine the three of those guys. So that's why I said those guys being on staff, that helps. But guess what? We were in a very similar situation with the very inexperienced staff before, when we had a young head coach in Antonio Pierce and a young defensive coordinator, and fairly young, and we kept Patrick Graham, and then a young OC and Luke Getsy. But hey, we got Rob Ryan over here. we got we got Tom Coughlin over here. Mm-hmm. We got Joe Philbin over here. So it's like, all right, we got these people, but like, bro, it's that. What are you doing for us? What are you really doing? And you can have all the experience in the world, and that helps. But if you're not really in position of authority, then how much influence do you really have? I'm sure people respect you. And if you worked at a job, right? There's some people there'll be some people you work with that, hey, this guy Tom been with the company. Oh, he been with the company 30 years. He didn't seen it, from the ground up. But if Tom tell you something, you're gonna listen to it. But does it have the same weight as if your superiors come into town? You got some executives that come over here, but oh man, I think we need to do this, we need to do that. Okay, that's gonna hold a little different weight than what Tom say. I was like, Tom is cool. You listen to him. Or Tom told me to do it this way. Or Tom said, when I organize the meeting, I should do this way. Or I should start with the earnings, and then I should do it. No, I should do the comp loss later. Okay, cool. Okay, well I do it that way. Mm-hmm. But it's not gonna hold the same weight as if somebody else tells you, or if somebody with authority tells you.
Yeah, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. So let's get into some of the stuff around the NFL, man. Tyreek Hill was just released, or is expected to get cut. That's going to be interesting. I know everybody's going to be probably connected dots like, oh, he's going back to the Chiefs. But at the same time, it might not be the same Tyreek Hill that we all know and love, as far as from an explosiveness standpoint. He did have a serious knee injury. I don't know is he even be back? Is he even gonna have an off season to train? I know a guy like Tyreek, he loves to run. You always see him competing and running, so he's probably not gonna be doing that this off season. It's all about recovery for him. So how do you feel about that? You think that he's a possible option for the Raiders, maybe? The Chiefs? Do you think we can obviously connect him to the Chiefs, but how about the Raiders? Because we do need a number one guy on the outside, technically speaking.
Yeah. I wouldn't do. If I was the Raiders, I wouldn't do it. And like you said, there's so many variables with Tyreek Hill. His return from health, his volatility, on the field and off the field. Like putting Tyreek Hill in the Las Vegas area. I mean, he played in Miami, and he got in minimal trouble. He wasn't like in trouble all the time. I think he had like some speed and stuff going on, so nothing too crazy. But so Vegas, if you can handle Miami, you should be able to handle Vegas. But I don't know, especially if we're planning on drafting a guy like Fernando Mendoza. I don't know if Tyreek Hill is a guy you want to put. The same thing I said about AJ Brown. Same thing I said about George Pickens. Like Tyreek Hill, he's the type of dude that if he's not getting the ball, he'll bark at you. And I don't think we have a strong enough personality at head coach with Clint Kubiak, and I don't think Mendoza is a strong enough personality as a quarterback to really deal with that kind of ego or that kind of volatility from a player in terms of their personality. The Chiefs will make the most sense. The Bills will make a lot of sense too. Mm-hmm. They need a guy like that with Josh Allen, the deep threat. Those are two destinations, but I can see a return to the Chiefs because him and like you hear how he talks about Eric Bieniemy and how Eric Bieniemy essentially helped him become the player that he is, and if it wasn't for Eric Bieniemy being so tough on them all the time and staying on them and holding them accountable, unlike the Raiders who had a coach that stayed on them and held them accountable, and they got him fired. Like Tyreek Hill actually took to the coaching and became one of the best receivers in the league. Yeah. So I can see now that Eric Bieniemy is back being OC with the Chiefs. I can see a possibility of Eric Bieniemy reaching out to him like, look, man, we want to bring you back home. It was magic when you were here. Let's recreate that. So, I can definitely see that. How he returns from the injury, that remains to be seen.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, for me, I'm not sure if it's like a great fit for the Raiders. I mean, obviously we need like a guy that can command, be a threat on the outside. I'm not sure if we have guys right now. We got some guys that could potentially be guys that you may be in a slot, guys that, we would love as a fourth option, like, or a third option. But do we have starting caliber receivers on the outside? I'm not sure we have. We do have Brock Bowers. He's the, I guess.
Jack Bash, man?
Jack Bash, I like him as a third, man. I like him as a third guy. Maybe he has a great offseason and get to that number 2, but that's like, at best, that's where I can see him at. But if we're going after a veteran option, a more experienced option, you get him on a 1-year deal. I know free agency is in a few weeks. Mike Evans with, Fernando Mendoza. You give him a veteran jump ball. Guy can go get it. Guy can jump and go get it with the best of them. Be a perfect guy to get on a 1-year deal, but he's going to have options. Meaning that he's probably going to want to go to a team that's ready to win now. So I don't think that's going to be a great fit for him. But let's say, the Raiders are, let's say teams don't come calling like that like he expected them to come, or the Raiders give him like a solid 1-year deal. Give him like a 1 year, 10 million, 7 to 10 mil. Mm-hmm. If he chases ring, if he's going to chase a ring, then he's probably going to go somewhere else. But maybe the Raiders can get him on board. I think Mike Evans at best 3 to 5 games. Yeah, he's kind of become injury prone. No, I ain't gonna blame
that's the issue with Mike Evans. I think everything about Mike Evans' game and his personality, his temperament, I think that would be great for us because he's like a low key guy. He's not a diva. I think he'll work well with Kubiak. I think he'll work well with Mendoza, just personality wise. He doesn't have a big ego, but like you said, like you got to think of like why would he come here? It's only you go to a team, it's for 2 reasons or 3 reasons. Either you want to play close to home. I just looked it up right now. He's from Texas, so it's not really close to home. You want a bag, one final bag. Could the Raiders do that? Yeah. Would it make sense for them to do that? Not really. Or you want to win, or the Raiders in position to win. Hell no to the no. So.
Nah, for real, man.
Hell no to the no. Hell to the no.
Yeah, I just like him too because for not just because also like I'm thinking like, oh, it would be nice to have him on the team, but it would be good for that locker room. It would be good for that wide receiver room. You got you got a Dante Thornton who, not gonna lie, it wasn't a good rookie season. Let's just leave it at that. Like it wasn't good rookie season at all. It was so bad that it makes you question like his potential. Like what can he potentially be? Like because he has a lot to work on. Hopefully he has a great offseason and he could get better at some of the things that he kind of struggled with in his first year. But it seems like it's going to be a process with Dante Thornton. But it would be great to have a Mike Evans, a big receiver like himself, but completely different games. Dante Thornton, I just see him as a deep threat. I do not. Yeah. I can't even envision him being a guy that can go up and go get it. People, because people will be quick to say like, "Oh man, he's 6'5". What do you mean? Like he can go?" No, you got to just watch him play. He does not play like he's 6'5" at all.
At all.
Or 6'4", 6'5". He did not play. He got the speed though. He has the speed, so maybe he could get better at start capitalizing on that. But I don't know. Maybe a Jack Besh, obviously drafted in the second round, a young guy. So having a guy like a veteran presence like that, Jack Besh was vocal about talking about Jacoby Myers and how he's helped them, or he did help him while he was with the team. So adding a All-Pro, former All-Pro, future Hall of Famer to the room, I wouldn't be mad at that. And especially a big receiver for Mendoza. I think Mendoza likes big receivers.
Yeah, for sure.
So it makes sense, and it kind of gives the Raiders a little bit of like, all right, they don't have to force the pick. They don't have to like, let's say if it's a great offensive line prospect or D-line prospect or defender and a great wide receiver prospect, if they got Mike Evans, then maybe they could be like, you know what? Let's go add some talent to that defense. Let's go add some talent to that offensive line. They don't have to. They can just wait another year and I'll address it in the next draft. But even then, not gonna lie, even then, if a Denzel Boston's there in the second round, whoo,
do it.
I got it. You got to do it. Because, like I said, the Raiders, they're starting out. Who's the starting outside receiver right now? Everybody that's watching the show in the chat, name the starting outside receiver for the 2026 Raiders right now. Predict it. I want some predictions.
Right now? Like just if we don't draft anybody or don't sign nobody.
So, for example, just to help y'all out, is it going to be a rookie and whoever's on the team on the outside? Or is it going to be a veteran free agent and whoever is already on the team? Or is it going to be a rookie and a veteran free agent? Who are the starting outside receivers next year for the Raiders? Because right now, I don't know.
Outside? Oh, I think it's gonna be a rookie and a vet. I think it's gonna be one rookie and one vet.
That's one guy.
Who?
But is he more of like a slot? He said Jaden Reed from the Packers. Too many.
Is he a free agent though?
I'm not sure. I gotta check.
And is he a free agent and not a restricted free agent?
Yeah.
Because
I double check that.
I mean, I would look at a guy I wanted us to look at last year, who I think is probably going to be a free agent because sure his 5th-year option didn't get picked up, was Traylon Burks. I would kick the tires on him. He really hasn't panned out in Tennessee, but Tennessee quarterback play has been pretty bad. But he's a big body receiver. I think he's a guy that would fit well with what Mendoza likes to do. Romeo Dobbs, but I'm pretty sure I don't know if the Packers plan on franchising or what they're gonna do with him, but he's a guy that I think they would like. But he's a guy that's like a strong hands catcher, physical back shoulder type guy. So I don't know. There's some options out there, but it's not a lot of like premier options.
Okay. Space B says Shaheed and Brazil. Brazil.
That's all speed and no route running. Brazil's all right route runner. He's not bad, but he's never.
Well, I'll say this: he's better. He's better than Thornton.
Oh, but like, come on.
He's better. He's better than Thornton, and he's better at attacking the ball in the air than Thornton too.
Yeah,
Like
that too.
he's shown it. He's shown it
Yeah.
like with ease, like it's natural to him compared to Thornton. Shaheed is like I guess a lot of people like Raider Nation is like that's like an obvious connection because the Kubiak connection because he was with him with the Saints. They traded for him during the season with the Seahawks. But Shaheed is not a starting. I don't know. He's not a starting outside receiver though.
People be like, oh, like what? Like I'll be like, oh, Ken Kubiak didn't do a good job with the Saints. He's like, what do you expect? They didn't have any wide receivers. There's only Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. And we get over here, like, who should be our outside receiver? Rashid Shaheed. Like, come on, dog. Like, y'all just told me he wasn't good enough, and now y'all telling me he should be the guy.
Yeah. Look, I think I had. Let's see. Let's look at some of the top. So ESPN I think has a top 50 here just to make it simple. Some of the top guys that's available. Alec Pierce is a guy that the Raiders that some Raider fans want to target, but
he's not number one.
He's not a number one, but he's a starting outside receiver.
He's not outside receiver. He's an upgrade over everything we have.
Yeah,
a significant upgrade over.
And he's like 25, like you know what I mean? Like so he kind of like 25, 26 years old. So he fits in that like youth movement. If they were to give him a 3-year deal or something like that, give him the bag. But I think he might stay with Indy. It seems like he would stay with Indy. I don't think Indy like lets him leave the door, but
I don't see why they would.
But the Titans could be. I know there's a few teams that would probably want to. He's gonna have options, is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, especially because did the Eagles did they hire Jim Bob or not? Did he stay with Indy?
All I know is they interviewed. I don't think they hired him. I don't think they hired him.
I know Steichen gave him permission to interview, and because it was a opportunity for him to potentially call plays, but I don't remember what happened. I don't know if the Eagles ever did hire somebody.
Yeah.
I see somebody say Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings is a watered down version of Jacoby Myers, who's also injury prone.
Oh man, I'd be like I know 49er fans that don't look at him as like anything special. They just look at him.
I like Juwan, and guess what? but peep this though. Peep this. I think that he might have been before the other guy got there. But guess what school Juwan Jennings went
to? You said what school?
Yeah. Well, guess what college you went to?
He went to Indiana or something?
Tennessee.
Oh, he went to Tennessee. Oh well,
yeah,
I mean, he hasn't.
I think
had
it was before.
He hasn't had a bad career.
I think it was before Heupel though. Yeah, I think it was before Josh Heupel got there.
Oh, okay. He hasn't had a bad career. Like he's not a bad player, but I don't think he's anything more than a number 3.
I think he's a solid number 2. Like I said, he's like a watered down Jacoby. He's a Jacoby Myers, but more injury prone and just not as good.
I would be disgusted if Juwan Jennings is the Raiders starting outside receiver. Hell, that's nasty. That's nasty. Bring in Seth Roberts and Michael Rivera, and we set.
Bro, both of those guys right now would be better than anybody. Well, Mike Rivera was a tight end, but Seth Roberts would be better than any receiver.
Thank you. Kilcav Jennings is a 3 or 4 at best. Yeah, we got plenty of those on the team right now.
I think he'd be a 2. I think he could be a 2.
Bro, he's just on. He's you know what he is. He's on the Shanahan offense. We all know. I know Clint Kubiak runs a version of that, but he's in that type of offense where he's open. I don't think I've ever seen him just, line up like this and just, beat the man in front of him. Like, I don't know if he's one of those guys. That's what I'm looking at. Like, that's what the Raiders need. They need guys that could win one-on-one.
Yeah. Well, we don't got a single player on our team that can do that outside of Brock.
You don't think
Hell nah.
Alligator arms?
Trey Tucker. No, I already know you would say hell no, but not Trey Tucker gets schemed open like a motherfucker. Like, he ain't getting open one-on-one by himself, bro. Well, maybe with a speed, but even then, like,
yeah. Okay.
All you gotta do is give Trey Tucker a little cushion, and it's a wrap. And then even if Trey Tucker get open, you just gotta hope he catch the ball.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of the receivers that's available. Like, there's not a lot. I mean, Mike Evans was the next best guy. Like, so Obviously, Alec Pierce is the number one wide receiver option in free agency just because of his age and where his, their project, like guys like that are 25 and they're like on the upswing. They're going to be the number one guys in free agency. That's what teams usually pay those guys. Mike Evans is the next guy, and Mike Evans is a vet option. Like he's like a vet, he's an older vet who's injury prone. You can argue that he's injury prone. Best fit that like some teams are pointing to him going to the Bills. That's interesting. Go play with Josh Allen. That could be a possibility. I'm trying to see here. Romeo. I know someone in the chat says Romeo Dobbs. Is this a slot guy? I don't know. Is he an outside guy?
I don't know if the Packers let him go.
Yeah,
he was probably the Packers' best receiver last year for most of the year.
Like
so
super consistent.
I don't know if they let him go.
Yeah. Ooh, do the Raiders? Khalil Mack is a free agent. Do the Raiders bring him in? Return of the Mack.
That would be cool. That would be clean, but I don't think so. I don't know if he wants to come back. To be honest with you, I don't know if he wants to come back. He had a solid year last year, I want to say. So I think he's been kind of injury prone, kind of banged up too.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think he has something left in the tank. But I don't know if he would want to come back. Like, why would he want to come? Because he ain't won the ring. So why not go to a team that's where you can compete? Head over to the Vikings or something like that. Do something like that.
Oh, this is interesting. So Shaheed, after Romeo Dobbs, Shaheed would be the next guy. In terms of best receiver production, you know what I mean? That's available. Chase Young is a free agent. Damn, it's hella funny. Like, I don't even want the Raiders to sign him because it's just kind of
that's disgusting.
Because we could have signed him for cheap, and then we're signing him, and they sign him for if they sign him for an extension or a big contract, it'll just be.
It's gonna be a nice size contract if he goes somewhere, because he was like one of their best defensive players.
Yeah. Juwan Jennings. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm not a big, like I said, I think he's a solid option. Like y'all don't even like him as much as I do. I think he's a solid number 2. I think he's a solid 2 guy. I think he does his job. He blocks.
I'd rather have Wan'Dale Robinson. Wandale
Robinson is still inconsistent though, bro. Juwan Jennings is consistent. He just gets hurt. Wandale Robinson, I think he kind of came on toward the end of the year when everybody was hurt. But I think that was more of a situation where it's like out of necessity more than anything.
Yeah. Man, this free agency, I'm not gonna lie.
Wide receiver is disgusting.
No, it's not even just wide receiver. This is an ugly free agency.
Overall, yeah. A few spots. Like quarterback is super ugly. Running back might be. Now did I look at running back? I think running back, that's few cool guys at running back. But overall, for the most part, it's ugly. But the thing that's good is though, as you kind of alluded to earlier, this is a pretty deep wide receiver drive.
Yeah.
It's got some wide receiver drive, got some guys in there. And they got some guys like whatever your style is, whatever kind of guy you are. You want a big jump ball guy? Okay, we got that. Oh, you want a speed guy? Oh, we got that. You want a route guy? Oh, we got that. You want a well-rounded guy? Okay, we got one of those too. Like, it got a little bit of everything in this draft. So depending on whatever you're looking for, there's a guy in this draft for you.
Man, I'm gonna have to pass. I'm gonna pass.
Oh, T. Higgins gonna break the bank. Yeah, I'm cool off that. We're not in a position to do stuff like that, man. Yeah. That's this thing. I love it. Like, only place I'm spending big money is in the trenches. If you want me to spend big money on offensive line, cool. Want me to spend big money on defensive line? Okay, I understand. I'm not spending big money on none of these other places right now, bro. I'm not. I'm just not.
Yeah.
And really not even so much defensive line. Like, mainly offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly offensive line.
Man, it's that time, bro.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
So, hey, flag on the play. And this week, what we got, man? What we got for flag on the play
This week, man, it's just going outside of the NFL. The Major League Baseball's, the president of their player association, I think his name is Tony Clark. He just resigned amid a scandal. He's being investigated by the FBI, or by the Justice Department for like some financial stuff, some self-dealing, some nepotism. Reminds us of somebody that worked here before, but he's being investigated for all that stuff. And as he's being investigated for that stuff, one of the things that came out was that his sister-in-law, who he hired to work for the MLB Players Association in 2023, he was having an affair with her.
Damn.
Yeah, so all this got made public. And what's worse is that he's been one of the main guys dealing with emotional. What's worse though is he's been one of the main guys dealing with all the negotiations. And they have a negotiation coming up because their collective bargaining agreement, I believe, ends December. So if they don't get it done, before then, or it ended already. I think it may just end it. So if they don't get the deal done, then it could be a potential lockout. And one of the things that the owners are trying to force in baseball, that the Players Association, this has been one of the only leagues that hasn't been able to get it done, they want a salary cap.
Damn. So you think it's gonna be some type of like holdout?
It could be a potential lockout. Especially right now. They don't have I don't know who's the president of the Players Association now. What's crazy is that I think he had ties. Was ironic because I think I was reading. I didn't get to read all of it, but I think that guy has ties to the guy that was doing all the like sketchy stuff with the NFL Players Association too. I think those guys I think they have some kind of ties, or then maybe just the investigations are tied together. But like that guy got brought up too.
Man, look, good thing. Hey, imagine a lockout with the NFL. That would be this.
That would be crazy.
Man, these shows would be like 20 minutes. It'd be like, hey, ain't nothing for us to talk about during these shows, man. If it's a lockout.
Hey, facts, Franklin Skinner. Facts. Dodgers on top now, and all of a sudden they want like, we got to get the salary cap popping. When the Yankees was doing it, it was fine.
Yeah, yes, sir. I think I sent you something. Did you hear about CJ Stroud possibly being a trade candidate?
Look, after that playoff performance, bro. Like I said it during the game, bro. Like I said it even like recently. If the Texans had average quarterback play, just average. You gotta be good. If they had just average quarterback play, they would have won a Super Bowl. Just average quarterback play. That's how good their defense was. They would have won a Super Bowl. They would have beat everybody. They would have beat the Patriots. They would have beat the Broncos. They would have beat Seattle, in my opinion, with that pass rush and that secondary. That would beat Seattle if they had just average quarterback play. And CJ Stroud couldn't even give them that. So I ain't mad at them for shopping. At least seeing what you can get, because they have to make a decision on his 5th-year option extremely soon. And you gotta see, is this a guy we want to keep? You don't want him to go into a lame duck year, because that severely depreciates him.
No pun intended.
In his trade value.
This was an honorable mention too. I don't know if you remember. So the reason why this is a flag on a play, it said that Sam Darnold lost money playing in the Super Bowl. Based off like listen, I don't know how true this is. Let me see if I could listen to this take real quick. This is an honorable mention, little last second. I think I sent this to you before. I was like, man, I thought this was kind of crazy. I don't know how true it is. But Sam Darnold somehow, some way, according to this guy here, he breaks down how Sam Darnold lost money during the Super Bowl.
He's playing against the winning team. Each player gets $178,000.
By the way, this is Boomer Esiason talking about how Sam Darnold lost money.
In other words, the Super Bowl isn't a part of their salary. And for winning the Super Bowl, the winning team, each player gets $178,000. In other words, the Super Bowl isn't a part of their salary. And because the game was played in California, and California has a jock tax, and they look at duty days. So each team spends 7 days in the state of California. So those are 7 duty days, and they pierce your regular salary at 3.5%. So he has to pay when you take into account he got the $178,000 plus his overall salary. He has to pay the state of California for spending 7 days there $249,000.
That's just so stupid. I mean,
Yeah,
it really is.
but it ends up costing him $71,000 to go play in California. Now, if I'm the NFLPA, now you got to remember, it's probably even more than that because since he's in Seattle, he's playing against San Francisco 49ers. So that's another day he's there. And he's playing against the LA Rams. That's another day he's there. So he's probably had like 9 or 10 duty days, or maybe even more than that in the state of California. So if I'm the NFLPA, I'm like, hey, we're not playing.
So I don't think anybody. This is why it's an honorable mention. I don't think anybody cares that millionaires are losing money like that. But that is crazy to think about. Like, damn, like he's playing his game and he's losing money.
Man, I will say this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Boomer Science doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Sam Darnold made $1.5 million for making it to the Super Bowl. That was an incentive in his contract. He made another $2.5 million for winning the Super Bowl. Like, there's a big article about how much money he made off of incentives.
Based off his contract. His contract.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he made tremendous amounts of money. Tremendous amounts of money playing in the Super Bowl. Like, Boomer Science, he's a fucking idiot. It's as I said, bro, I ain't even getting into politics stuff, but it's fucking talking points from people. It's like, oh, these taxes, they're just this tax and spend. Like, shut the fuck up, bro.
He's talking to his ass. He's talking to his ass.
He's talking to jazz, bro. He's talking to jazz. Doesn't know what the fuck
or he's trying to push a narrative, is what you're trying to say, really.
It's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. But anyways, man, hey, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We are going live on both our channels. So if it's your first time joining us, you're watching the show, definitely subscribe to both channels, PharoahNFL, obviously the Severe Raider. Do that, as well as if you guys are watching the replay, leave comments, all that good stuff. We read the comments and all that good stuff. So we appreciate everybody watching. And hit the like button, man, and hit that notification bell so be notified when we do these live shows, man. We don't do a lot of them, but hey, we do enough of them. So you got to make sure to tune in. That being said, let's move it along to do we have another flag on the play? That was an honorable mention.
Nah, I think that was
just do that.
That was an honorable mention, man. You know, you
Playing any more Super Bowls.
Yeah. So we got some notable quotables. What's the first notable quotable that we got today?
First notable quotable. You kind of previewed it earlier when we were talking about Clint Kubiak and his press conference and his introduction to the team and the pomp and circumstance. You know, that was put on by the Raiders front office and the Raiders brass. And one of the people that were there, you know, because the Raiders brought out several legends, I guess, legends. Like, I guess you could say this guy's a Raider legend. Was Rich Gannon, and Rich Gannon talked a little bit about, just being a part of that whole experience.
All right, let's see this.
Mark Davis had every Raider employee inside the facility out, and there's 3 levels of the facility, and it's all this big open atrium. And on the 3rd floor, the whole 3rd floor was filled. The whole 2nd floor was filled. The whole lower level was filled. Every Raider employee, when Clint Kubiak and his wife and 4 kids walked in that door, clapped for him and were waiting to receive him, along with Marcus Allen and Mike Haynes and Howie Long and Jim Plunkett and Charles Woodson and myself and a lot of other former players, including Kirk Morrison, Bruce, who was there, asked a great question at the press conference. Proud of our guy from SiriusXM NFL Radio, former Raider great. And current Raider players. It was just a great day to be a Raider, great day to celebrate the history of this organization, but also to be realistic about the work that's in front of us. And that's what Clint Kubiak talked about. He goes, we're all about the work. We're all about getting this thing straightened out. And there's no secret to the success of great teams. You've got to put in the work, and it starts today.
bro. I said this last week. I said it last week, man. I said the Raiders, the way they're treating this Clint Kubiak hire, they're treating it as like they got their guy. They won. They won the lottery. Like they did everything that would tell you that they got their guy. Like they had former NFL players on there. I've never seen former Raider players at a press conference like that up front on Front Street, right next to the head coach and GM. Never seen that. They might have been in the, in the past, they might have been in the press conference. That's possible, but
not part of the ceremony. Not part of the ceremony.
No, I never even seen that. I've never seen that in the NFL. I've never seen that. So the way the Raiders,
I don't watch the team's press conferences. So I wouldn't.
it's mostly typically the GM and the head coach, and maybe the owner, That's typically what I see. I don't really see anything outside of that. Now, can there be an example of it? Possibly, but what I'm trying to say is that you rarely see it. But anyways, the Raiders went about it that way. That was just me just watching the presser from afar. Now to know that like he had the Tom Brady 2-minute applause. You guys remember last year or the year before when Tom Brady was announced as a minority owner of the Raiders? There was a clip that the Raiders PR team released, or the clip that came out, where you could see Tom Brady in the building, Raiders building, with right next to a cheese and Mark Davis. Like man, he just hit the lottery. Entire Raiders building standing ovation, and I'm assuming Clint Kubiak, the way Rich Gannon described it, he got the same thing. So I hope he's gonna be here for the next, I don't know. He's gonna be the next great Raider coach. But it's night and day difference to how they treated the last two hires.
What are you talking about? You didn't see Ken Herrock at PK?
I'm just saying, because I know you were like, well, the way they treated like the not Mike McDaniel, but Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniel.
They were high on him, and the way they treated it.
They made a big deal out of that one.
But not to this extent, I don't think. But it's still a big deal. But
they made a big deal. They didn't bring out the only difference is they didn't bring out the former players. I think that was the only difference.
I didn't about no standing ovation.
For sure. I want to say I think they had like a whole crazy presser, like outside of like the regular presser. I want to say they had like another crazy presser where they did it, where they had like it was something else where they did, not outside of the normal presser. It was another one where it was like it was a production. So I remember watching it. I was like, damn, they doing a lot.
Yeah, the way they treated Antonio Pierce, it was very,
vanilla, super vanilla,
super plain and simple.
Pete Carroll was running the mill. It's normal. This is a significant step up from the past two. Yeah, significant.
But the reason why it's a step up is because this is how the Raiders organization this is how they feel about the hire. This is they feel like they had a number one target. They got the number one target. Last year, we all knew the number one target was who? It was Ben Johnson. They didn't. It turns out he obviously went to the Bears. They had to settle for Pete Carroll. It is what it is. But yeah, I thought it was interesting that he was able to like let us know like that. That's what happened behind the scenes, like a standing ovation. Man, like so they have high expectations for Clint Kubiak, because who sets up the standing ovation?
Mark Davis.
You know what I'm saying? Like Mark Davis for sure. Mark Davis for sure is like, yeah, we're gonna be everybody get on their feet and like celebrate this.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Like he did with Tom. For sure. Yeah. But like I said, I think they want, right now, like I said, the Raiders are playing the optics game where they're like, you want to project confidence. You want to project, like success, and you want to be in a success mindset, because when you put yourself in that mindset, then success usually follows. So I think that's what they're doing right now. It's like, I don't want to say fake it till you make it, but that's essentially what they're kind of doing. Like fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
So like Clint Kubiak hasn't done anything to earn a standing ovation as a head coach. I don't think. Like Ben Johnson legit was like, the most sought after guy for two coaching cycles. Like, Kubiak, this was his time. And I think he was the most sought after coach, I would say, this cycle. That was going to be a new head coach. Like, not including the Stefanskis or the Harbaughs. Like, of the guys that were new head coaches, I think he was the number one guy. So like I think the Raiders should feel good. I mean, like I think that was the guy they wanted, and I think they should feel good about it.
Yeah. My guy King, 2125 says, "Do you guys see what Tom posted on his story? Think it was pointing at Max." So I'm gonna read this from Tom's story. He had a couple of things on there, but this is, I think, what he's referring to. He wrote this. He says, "Leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about being accountable. When things go wrong, you don't point fingers. You don't make excuses. You don't blame the team or the timing or the circumstances. You own it. You fix it. You move forward. That's what leaders do. Accountability is what builds trust. When people see you take responsibility, even when it's uncomfortable, they respect you. When they see you deflect blame, they lose faith. It's that simple. You can't demand accountability from your own team if you're not willing to model it yourself. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you start making progress, because excuses keep you stuck. They protect your ego but cost you everything else. Own your failures, learn from them, and do better next time. That's the standard. It's non-negotiable." I think this is a stretch.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's pointed at Max. But
Because Max
I would
is a
say
good
that,
leader,
yeah.
bro. I say overall, I think Max is a good leader, bro.
I would say Max is I would say for the most part he's a good leader.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part. I think that, like I said, there have been times that I've called Max out for his leadership, for things that he's done. That was like, this questionable behavior. But overall, I think like more times than not, like 85-15, maybe 90-10, like he's a consummate professional, good leader. But like I said, there's been certain scenarios, certain instances where he fell short of that. Like, perfect example, like where that quote fits perfectly is that Devin White play. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, that was your fault. And instead of taking the blame, like, damn, I thought I had a play, I thought I was gonna make a TFL. You hung Devin White out to dry in front of your teammates, in front of the national TV audience.
That's
and
true.
It was just a bad look. And then the stuff with the injury, bro. Like, he knew for sure that he said in September, he needed surgery. So if you knew back then you needed surgery, bro, why are you storming off and then throwing these subs and like bro, that is unbecoming, not only of a leader, it's unbecoming of a man. Like, that's not man shit. That's like, that's like teenage high school girl stuff where, I'm gonna unfollow her. I must like only like all my good girls do this and like, what are you doing, dog? What are you doing? You're a grown ass man. So it's stuff like that, you gotta call out. But it's rare. It's few and far between. So like, I don't think that was pointed at him. Like I said, more times than not, the overwhelming majority of the time, I think Max has been a good leader.
Yeah. No, I don't think that was a huge deal. I think that's just Tom Brady, who goes on his usual rants about leadership and how back in the day the quarterback play is way better than it is now. Like, that's the usual stuff that's coming out of Tom Brady. Like, he'll talk about the quarterback play is way better. Stuff. Yeah, he'll talk about development in the NFL. QB development is terrible now. Like, he'll regurgitate the same. Yeah. Like, and the reason why I know this is because I've been watching a lot of Tom Brady interviews, just because he's part of the Raiders now. I got to see what his mindset is, and what he thinks, and he constantly brings up that conversation and leadership. Obviously, hey, look, man, he's won 7 Super Bowls. He's gonna be talking about him as a leader, as a player, former player, and his thoughts and things like that. So, I think it's just another day for Tom Brady, to be honest with you. But
get off my lawn, Tom.
Yeah, get off my lawn, Tom. We're not done yet. We got another notable quotable we got today.
Yeah, man, notable quotable. This is about the Raiders. Obviously, we talked about extensively about Robbie Leonard. The Raiders also hired Andrew Janocko, who was a quarterbacks coach for Seattle, who's basically been following Clint Kubiak from destination to destination. And one of those destinations was New Orleans. With who? Former Raider quarterback Derek Carr. So he has a little bit of insight into him. And on his podcast, he talked about what, this is before he was hired, but when he was asked about some guys he would want on Clint's staff, this is the guy he brought up, and he has some good things to say about him.
All right, here we go.
But he's going to bring the staff around him. Speak to them. Who's he going to bring?
I hope they bring Coach Benton, the O-line coach. I hope Janocko comes.
Yeah.
because
You
when
talked about him a lot. You liked him.
Andrew Janoko, love him.
Love that.
Love him. I mean, house music playing as soon as you walk in the room.
Man, that beat that. Yeah.
6 a.m. He's just playing.
Coffee. He's already rode his Peloton. He's already done his thing. His hair looks nice.
Good.
All right. He's good Catholic man.
Good.
He is, and he
does
is, let
things
me
the
tell
right
you,
way.
He is. Let me tell you this. You talk about crude jokes.
Yeah.
Clint even to the point is like, no go.
You gotta
bro.
stop, man. Hey, those Catholics be funny, man. You know what I'm saying?
But
They just think they can throw a couple Hail Marys up there and it all goes away. You know?
Andrew Janoko, bro. He literally texts. They're getting ready for the Super Bowl. This guy type of guy he is.
Yeah.
They're getting ready for the Super Bowl. And he texts me, Hayner, and Spencer.
Yeah.
A hilarious picture. And then another funny one of Jake. That's just him. Like,
Yeah.
he would be in our room. He's like, oh, Justin. He's like, I was talking to Justin Fields. But it says something when all the quarterbacks you've had continue to love you and
Love you.
talk to you and want to have a
So
relationship.
you better make sure he's on the list. You know what I'm saying?
And he helped me play great football.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Great.
like amazing. Like
Good.
taught like the standard, all those things.
So he'd be the OC then, probably.
I would hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would think.
That'd be great. That'd be great, Raiders. I'm looking out for you.
I mean, they're like peanut butter and jelly, man.
Yeah. You can't separate.
Can't separate.
Okay. So that's that's Derek Carr, just minus all the other stuff, him just cracking jokes is not funny, but but as far as
these unlotioned ass dry jokes, bro. You don't put some.
Yeah, but look, I kind of the most important thing that he said in that whole clip was he helped me play great.
Yeah, exactly.
Like and when he made that comment about it says a lot that a lot of the quarterbacks that that were in that QB, they all were like a big fan of him. Like they were like so it's a good sign that that's gonna be a guy that's gonna help with the development of the quarterback, which is Fernando Mendoza. So I'm glad we got a guy like him. It seems like he's gonna be a good add to the team. Benton was a guy. Hey, that clip started off with Benton, by the way. I know it was mostly talking about Andrew Janoko, but John Benton would be a nice little pickup for the Raiders as an offensive line coach. But right now, we haven't heard anything. We haven't heard any connections with any offensive line coaches, to be honest with you.
Nah.
And to keep real, like the way these guys get hired, we're not hearing like, oh, an interview's happening. They just get hired. Like we just right now, Azani. No one's seen Azani. Like Zach Azani became wide receiver coach. Boom. That's how fast it is. Boom.
Yeah. That's kind of. Somebody put in the chat. Yeah, that might be it. I don't know about that hire, bro. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one, Clint.
Man,
I don't know about that one.
Coach,
But,
man. Hey. I guess that's your sense of humor, man. It's all good, man. He's jealous of card jokes.
Yeah, I don't know about the Azani one, but yeah. I mean, look, obviously, the white whale is still out there. Moby Dick is still out there. Jeff Stoutland has yet to get a job anywhere. He's still out there. Hey, we can make that happen, bro. I forgive Clint for all the other nonsense, bro. Hey, you get Jeff Stoutland in here to coach this line. Oh, bro, yeah, we Gucci. To design this run game, we good.
I bet you that in order for them to bring him in, he's going to get paid more than the coordinators.
Probably. Or as much as the good coordinators.
Yeah. As much or possibly even more. Just because his leverage is like, I can go to any other team.
True.
Well, actually, you know what? I don't want to say any other team. Because at this point, I think a few teams, I don't know. The Chargers, ooh, that'd be ugly if he went there.
Oh, that would be disgusting.
I think the Chargers are looking for an offensive line coach. Let me see, Chargers offensive line coach.
That would be disgusting. Oh, that would be disgusting. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm not trying to put that in the universe, but offensive line.
But see, Mike McDaniel was a run game coordinator before, though, so Mike McDaniel might want a little bit more say over the run game. And Miami's run game was clean.
Okay.
Especially when H&A was healthy.
Nah, they hired Butch Berry as their new offensive line coach in 2026. Okay. Yep. All right. So they already hired that. Let's see. Hey, you know what? Raiders might have a chance. Just because there's not a lot of options for Stalin unless he sits out the year.
He may just sit out because he's an older guy. He may just be like, I know I've been coaching for a long time straight.
Let me see. Cardinals offensive line coach. I mean, why would he go to Cardinals? But you know, this is just like how they already hired offensive line coach. They're retaining the same one from 2026. Okay. All right. Boom.
They're saying the same one. Yeah, Cardinals. I mean, I thought they was gonna hire Wink, which was dope.
Mm-hmm.
But they end up keeping their same. They ended up doing the same thing. What's called it did? They kept the same guy. They had Wink. They brought Wink in for an interview, and they kept the same defensive coordinator they had under Gannon.
Yeah.
It's kind of disgusting.
Coaches vacancy. Let's see. Hey man. Thank God. I mean, AI right now is killing the game. So let's see if it's going. How many? Does Cleveland? I mean, what? Buffalo? Does Buffalo have an offensive line coach? Yeah, they probably do.
Oh,
because
Brady just got elevated, so they'll probably keep the same.
It's kind of same guy. Okay. Pittsburgh. Let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to see, like, let me see. Pittsburgh offensive line coach. Yeah, I think the Raiders could have a shot if they threw an offer that no one, like, he can't refuse.
I don't know how true this is. I'm looking it up right now. So I'm trying to see if any news about him taking a job somewhere else. And they were saying that he could return in a reduced role to the Eagles.
Oh, Stalin?
This Jeff Stalin, yeah.
Let me see.
So I don't know what's going on with that, but he's saying he could return in a reduced role. He's basically just still be the offensive line coach, but not be the run game coordinator is what they're saying.
They did struggle to run the ball last year, but they had injuries though too. So Stalin had touch push architect announces end of his 13-year run. Says he won't return next season. Damn. Yeah, that would be a home run, but there's no, like, we're not hearing nothing right now from that. So we're not gonna act like that's gonna happen. Seahawks could block Benton. Yeah, I feel like it's a lateral move, so I don't know if he.
Yeah, it is a lateral move.
Hey man, hey, don't be mad at me because you like corny jokes, man. It's all good, man. To each his own. He said, "Don't make me mention Mike Woodell. Get you crying up in here."
Coach is funny.
You funny. Man.
All we gotta do is bring on an interview for Coach. The Coach will dip out. It's like we about to interview this play. Oh, Coach, all right, y'all. I'm gone.
We're about to interview the Seahawks.
Yeah, exactly.
Seahawks beat writer to let us know about Clint Kubiak. All right, I'm out, man.
For sure. Coach will dip quickly.
What up, fellas? How do you like our coach acquisition? Assistant coaches or head coach? Assistant coaches, you know.
Yeah, I think he's talking assistants.
Kind of indifferent, like, you know, it's a lot of guys where, you know, it's kind of wait and see to see what they do with but it's not anything bad. I mean, I don't think there's anybody on staff where I'm like, oh, that was a bad. To me, right now, I'm really kind of locked in on that offensive line coach. To me,
Hey, that's make or break, bro. That's make or break.
Cause,
Right now, like,
because Rob Leonard, I was like at DC, I'm like, you know what? Our either way, I think our defense is gonna be trash. Be honest. That's either way. Like either way, our defense is gonna be just because like the talent is just it's gonna be hard to upgrade. The Raiders have so many like defensive free agents, so much holes on the defense. I mean, the team overall, like they're not gonna be able to address every position. So if it could be okay, if we can have an okay defense, that's a win for the Raiders to me. And they just continue to build on the young talent, and in the next couple of seasons, then we're going to have higher expectations. But right now, my expectation for the defense is not going to be pretty high. So like them hiring a Rob Leonard, I'm like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? I know like, we have an offensive coach. The most important hire is a DC. Typically that's what, but right now, nah. The most important hire after head coach right now is offensive line coach. And that's the one that's scaring me because we have a young quarterback coming in. We can't get him killed. You drafted a running back number 6. We gotta take advantage of maximize that as possible. And then if we don't do that, then it'll just make that pick even worse than whatever you felt about it. So, I'm not gonna let I know you want to chime in on that, but it is what it is. The assistants, like I said, I'm kind of indifferent, man. I'm for me, offensive line coach right now is like the biggest thing.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I don't hate the hire of Robbie Leonard. I would, just him having the amount of authority he's gonna have without much oversight from the head coach. I don't know how much I like that, but I don't hate the hire per se. It's like once it's like, what has he really done to earn the job? I don't know. But let's wait and see. He's a guy that's respected. I think he got some. I want to say he got some interviews somewhere else, I believe. And then if it was a circumstance where they elevated Patrick Graham to head coach, I expected Rob Leonard to be the defensive coordinator just because how long they've worked together. So the prospect of him being the defensive coordinator here kind of loomed large, in multiple scenarios. So I was comfortable with it. Like I said, it wasn't like a guy I was going to be super over the moon for being our defensive coordinator, but it is what it is. Janoko, that was expected. But as I said, the offensive side of the ball, I'm not as worried about outside offensive line coach. If we don't get a good offensive line coach, bro, that's going to make me look at this team completely different. It's going to make me look at this entire coaching staff completely different.
That's I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna lower a lot of it's gonna really lower the expectation of this team, and it's gonna probably make me look at. Would it make you look at Kubiak kind of like sideways a little bit, or you'll give him? I'll give him more grace just because it's like. But damn, the Raiders cannot miss. Damn. I can't talk about this before until they make the move. They gotta make a move before I can even say anything. But if we don't get any like a solid offensive line coach, oh man,
the thing about it is that like I'm trying to think when I was looking at Kubiak, because I think his pedigree has always been in terms of passing the ball. So like I don't think so because let's say if it's a guy like Mike McDaniel, who's a former run game coordinator. Mm-hmm. If I have questions about his offensive line coach, okay, I can kind of get over it because I know he's a run game coordinator. That's what his history was in the run game. I know he's going to do a good job with the run game. With Clint Kubiak, I think he's been like for the most part quarterbacks coach, passing game coordinator. So I don't know. Obviously Gary was legit in terms of the run game stuff. So maybe some of that rubbed off on them through osmosis, through genetics, whatever. But for the most part in the league, that hasn't been his wheelhouse. Like he's been the guy for passing the ball. So like run game, I think he needs a guy that's good. Yeah, he needs a guy that's good, and we need a guy that's good because we got to get the most out of the investments we're going to be making in our quarterback because Mendoza likes to run an RPO. You got to have the threat of the run to be able to run it effectively. If you want to run 12 personnel, you got to be able to run the ball effectively to keep teams honest there. And obviously we drafted Genty 6 overall. We have to get the most out of him that we can while we can, because his contract. You look at his contract. He's already has the second most guaranteed money in the league at running back. Like, bro, it's only gonna go up from there if we end up wanting to retain him, unless he plays poorly. So it's like we kind of in a catch-22 situation right there. So we got to get this offensive line coach. It could be a make or break for our offense this year. And I'm like, you guys already know, I wasn't like super high on Kubiak, so I'm not gonna look at him sideways, him personally, but I am gonna look at this coaching staff sideways.
Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll hear some new news on it by this Thursday, which will be when Around the Shield will be live and direct. So definitely check that out later this week. So hopefully the Raiders will hire a offensive line coach soon. Now, I know people are like Devin White, Jamal Adams probably going to be back. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Jamal Adams is kind of like a Pete Carroll guy, so it's a completely different coaching staff. But maybe he's developed a relationship with Rob Leonard. Devin White. Maybe he brings it back.
White before Jamal Adams.
Okay. We'll see. I mean, be honest with you, anything could happen because they really have like their entire defense is like literally not coming back. It feels like, or at least free agents or free agents.
Linebacker, that entire linebacking core. Because all of them were free agents on 1-year deals, if I recall correctly. Only person we signed to a multi-year deal was we don't have Polamalu, right? And Chin.
We don't have a starting free safety. So we don't have a starting free safety. Like the Polamalu experiment, I like him, but I like him more closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's his role moving forward. I think if they do keep him on the team, or obviously I think he's under contract, so he'll be with the team. But I just hope that like he's just closer to the line of scrimmage. We need a starting free safety. Oh, we might bring back the corner that had a solid year this year. Stokes. We might bring him back possibly.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
And it's going to be interesting to see what Rob Leonard runs on defense. What type of defense does he run?
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's a lot to talk about. Coach says if they focus on D-line, then that's their best chance to have an okay defense. But who are they going to bring back? Okay, all right, let's say Max stays, right? Max stays. You got to give me at least 2 to 3 threats on that defensive line outside of Max, where I can feel like, the Raiders might have like at least like maybe an opportunistic defense with a really good really good defensive line.
Yeah. They got to bring people in. They're gonna have to sign people.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna have to draft. Yeah, that's so at least.
Outside of Max, who are the next 2, 3 guys where you could be like, oh yeah, this guy, he can get after the quarterback.
Right now.
Oh,
they really don't got nobody. I mean, Adam Butler. I think Adam Butler on the interior is good at getting after the quarterback, but that's about it, really. It's like Max and Adam Butler. We didn't see what we wanted to see out of Kuntz. Maybe if we bring Kuntz back on a veteran minimum, he'll have that year away from that injury. Maybe we'll kind of see some growth there. Maybe he takes another bet on himself, takes a 1-year deal.
Hey, you know what? Kuntz could possibly be back.
I can see that
because
Rob Leonard.
If Leonard is like a big Kuntz guy and he believes that he could be on his way back up from that injury, then maybe Kuntz comes back. But even then, it's like kind of like, all right, like you said, it has to be like a vet minimum. Like it has to be like a cheap contract. It can't be anything that breaks the bank. Not no 20 mil. I think that's what he got, right? Or was it 12 mil?
Nah. That was what was projected by Spotrac. It would end up being like 12 or 14, something like that.
Okay. So yeah, it was 12. Yeah, not no 12 mil. It would have to be like maybe 3.
Yeah, it had to be a veteran minimum. But the thing is, though, he might be able to get more than that elsewhere, though. Somebody else might say, look, we're willing to take a chance on what he did, that other season before the injury, and now he's a year removed from it.
Okay.
I don't think they'll give him crazy money. But I think like if we're giving them like 3 or 4, I think a team might be okay. We'll give you 5, 6.
Yeah. So yeah, like so you just named you said Adam Butler, and then maybe you're hoping maybe the rookies, maybe the second year guys take a leap, but that's like
Jonah too. I like Jonah. I like what I saw from Jonah too.
But okay,
as a pass rusher only.
Okay.
And then Tonka showed up a little bit as a pass rusher. Pegues not really flash as a pass rusher, but I think he's solid in the run game. Thomas Booker gives you nothing as a pass rusher. Tyree offers you nothing anywhere.
So okay. So if you're talking about the existing players on a team, that you're kind of betting on like some of the young guys like taking that next step.
Yeah, if you're talking about the sixth bet, but I'm not going to take that bet.
Yeah.
I'm going to invest in. I'm going to make bet. Like I said, the places I'm investing the most money is, I think you got to invest a nice little amount of money in Stokes. You know, I think you want to bring him back to kind of build off what he did last year, and then it's all offensive, defensive line. Other than that, offensive, defensive line.
Facts.
Like not even wide receiver. This is such a deep wide receiver draft. You might just have to draft a young guy. You might have to go second round, third round, draft some guys.
Okay.
And we just saw it's no guys really out there free agents that I'm gonna like, because it's so much scarcity via free agency that it's gonna drive the price of guys up. So Alec Pierce gonna be getting way more than he should be because there's like not a lot of guys out there.
Yeah, I just seen like a mock draft, and I seen like Boston being a guy like that drops. So I was just like, ooh, man, hopefully hopefully it keeps happening. And then like the Raiders, find a way to either trade up or even, man, I wish they had like the number 1 pick in the second round. It'd be it was be best case scenario, but they're going to be like picking fourth.
But they have to win a game right at the end of the year.
Disgusting, but it is what it is. But hey, we're not done yet, man. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. What's real, what's not? This is where we say statement. Y'all react to it and let us know if it's real or it's not. Severe, what we got?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I'm gonna go with this one. I don't know. I had two. No, what I want to see what people feel about this one. I want to see what people feel about this one because we kind of talked about the other one a little bit already. We haven't hit on this though. The decision to promote Rob Leonard to defensive coordinator was made exclusively by Clint Kubiak with no pressure from the front office or ownership. So the decision to hire Rob Leonard as defensive coordinator was made exclusively by Clint Kubiak with no pressure from the front office or from ownership.
To hire Rob Leonard?
Hire Rob Leonard.
And the statement is that he made the hire with no pressure.
No pressure. It wasn't or say it should no. Wasn't
I think I think it's real. I think that's real. I would say it's real, just because who are his options? Like, I mean, you could probably point to maybe somebody on the Seattle staff, but I think he just it's late in the process, not a lot of options, and I think there's a few guys on staff that like, all right, he's gonna keep on just because like he doesn't really have like a lot of options to build out his staff like that. If it was like a beginning of the process where they hired him early, then maybe he could have got a head start on like filling out his staff. But I think Rob Leonard. See, it's not like Rob Leonard is not one of those guys like, what are you thinking? Like, he's been a guy that's been talked about for a while. Like, hey man, he might be a guy that could be a future DC one day. So he's kind of developed himself to this point. So I'm not like mad at Leonard. So I don't think there has been any pressure, but I'm gonna say it's real.
Say not real. Are you saying it's real?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's not real, bro. It's not real. I can see there is the Joe Woods connection there, so I can see maybe there being some familiarity with them. But other than that, like they have absolutely no links at all. And he's bringing the guy in, or he's promoting a guy that he's already said that. Like I don't think he really would have had a chance to watch any of Rob Leonard's tape because he hasn't even watched any of the tape on. Like any of the players on the team. So I doubt if he's watched, what Rob Leonard was doing with the defense, because I think they asked him about Ashton Genty, and he said, I loved what he did at Boise State. I haven't watched him with the Raiders. Well, goddamn, this is going to be one of your best offensive players. You ain't watched this dude yet at all? So I doubt if he watched any of the defensive tape to see what the defensive guys are. So I think right now and we interviewed some guys from Seattle. Obviously, those guys decided to stay there. I think this was, a spy tech, Tom Brady. I don't want to say pressure campaign, but I think this hire was influenced by them. I think it was influenced by them, and it could be because there weren't many options, and they convinced him that keeping Rob Leonard was the best option for him. Maybe that was it, but I don't think Clint Kubiak came to the conclusion all on his lonesome that Rob Leonard should get a promotion to defensive coordinator. And like I said, there are plenty of guys in Seattle, plenty of guys that he's coached with elsewhere. He's coached plenty of destinations. His dad has plenty of connections around the league. There are plenty of people around the NFL that he could have tabbed as a defensive coordinator that we may not know about, but he has some familiarity with. And he elected not to do so and to promote a guy who he has essentially no connections with. So I don't think he did that all by himself.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Is that how you feel about every coach that was from the previous regime that's still on staff?
Every coach still on staff? I think it depends, because I think that once he tabs people in the top job, like let's say once he tabs his offensive coordinator, then I think at that point they make a decision about the people on staff. Same thing with the defensive coordinator. Now that he has Robbie Leonard tabbed as defensive coordinator, I think they make a decision based on the staff, based on their collaboration there. So I don't feel as that is the same way with the other position coaches and stuff like that. Which I don't think only people that are still here is AJ Neibel and Deuce Gruden, which they ain't going nowhere. I don't know how the hell these motherfuckers still around. They ain't going nowhere.
Luke Steckel, we just talked about tight ends coach, right? He's still on staff.
Yeah, we talked Luke Steckel's still on staff for now. Because look, we hired Janocko yesterday, I believe, right? Or the day before, or on Sunday. We hired Janocko or was it a Sunday? Sunday or Saturday? Saturday or Sunday. Mm-hmm. So we hired him then. We just fired Dylan McCullough this morning. So Luke Steckel, I wouldn't. You ain't safe yet, brother. I wouldn't breathe that sigh of relief just yet, because your time could be coming. Now that the offensive coordinator is in place, I think they're going to work together to see who should be kept on staff and who shouldn't be.
Yeah. That's valid. Maybe they possibly could have, recommended Leonard or what you think about Leonard, but at the end of the day, I think Spytek made it clear by saying that I think it's important for the new coach to pick his own staff. But can they possibly been hey, look, here's some options? Yeah. And Clint Kubiak could have interviewed him, and maybe that interview went well, and was hey, look, this is a guy that I can possibly. But it can go either way. It can go either way, in my opinion. But
I don't think know why I say this also. Because they asked Clint Kubiak at one point, right? How are you preparing for your interview for head coaches, for your head coaching interviews? He said, I don't prepare. I'm not preparing at all. It's
that's what Clint Kubiak said.
That's what Clint Kubiak said. He said, I don't prepare. I let what I do on the field, that be and so he was either lying because he thought that was a good thing to say, because at the time they were still in the playoffs and stuff like that. So maybe he was either lying because he thought that was the right answer, or the answer that played the best in terms of optics, or he just really ain't preparing. And if he really wasn't preparing,
he's lying.
He has no idea who's good who's not.
Yeah. No, he's familiar.
And you would think, look, he's a guy that's offensive coordinator, so he's studying all these other defenses around the NFL. So he should have great insight in terms of, this secondary is a young secondary. Oh man, he's getting a lot out of these dudes. Oh, this linebacker core, they're kind of banged up. But man, he's really got these dudes playing. Or man, these safeties. Oh man, I like what they're doing with these safeties. Oh, these corner. Oh, this defensive line is. Oh man, they're getting after it. Mm-hmm. Who's the coach there? He will be the guy that have intimate knowledge of all of that stuff, because he's doing all the game playing on the offense. So you would think he would be the guy that would be able to identify a guy defensively. And I know there's no way in the world he looked at the Raiders defensive line and was like, damn, these these guys is killing. Like, no way in the world you looked at the Raiders line.
No,
and said that.
I think he's familiar with the Raiders team. I think he was lying. I think that was his way of saying like, hey, look, I'm literally kind of showing him like this is what I bring to the table. But I think when he was getting interviewed, I'm sure he looked at the Raiders roster. I think he looked at the players. I remember he made a comment about this during the pressure, and he was talking about I forgot the players on the team, and he just mentioned Colt Miller, but he's like, I know that he was out for the season. Like, for him to say that was like,
that's like big news. I mean, everybody knows that though.
Not really. We're just familiar with the team. We follow the team, but like he's locked in as a coach for the Seahawks. So I'm sure, and that's not even a team that he plays week in week out. You see what I'm saying? So,
but look, but like I don't follow the 49ers, and I know that Juwan Jennings was banged up for a lot of the year, and I know that Juwan Jennings was going to hold out because he wanted a contract, and that they reworked his contract to give him more guarantee. Like, I don't follow this, but that's like news. Like, that was like Colton Miller going out was fairly big news because he's a plus tackle in the league. So
sure.
Like, what told me he didn't watch the team at all. Look, Pete, this. They asked him about Ashton Genty, and it's like, what do you think about Ashton Genty? He's like, oh, well, so I know he's a good running back at Boise State. It's like, they did a really good job there. Like, I really didn't watch him this year. Like, motherfucker, what? Like, you didn't watch Ashton Genty?
Yeah.
This is after he was hired. This is during his presser. He hadn't watched Ashton Genty yet.
Yeah.
So if you ain't watched Ashton Genty, bro, it's kind of like, who the hell you watching?
That's true. But I made that point for him to know that about Colt Miller. Is like he's fully locked in as a coach.
I think that
he's locked in as a coach and what's going on with the team. Like, so he's not going to be paying attention to the things that we're going to be paying attention to on a normal basis of what's going on around the NFL. Like, for him, like, he's probably going to be aware of like, maybe at some point, but like for the most part, he's going to be locked in on coaching the offensive side of football for the Seahawks. But, you know, like I said, it can go either way. I ain't mad at it. But, hey, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in at this point, clock out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Kind of a throwback show. You know what I mean? I don't know if we want to call it a throwback show, but that's to tell you how long the shows are going to be moving forward. But he's watching from he was watching from Henderson.
No, he was watching Travion. He was watching Travion.
Oh my God! Oh man, that was one of them for sure. Hey man, we'll be back later this week, man. Around the Shield, make sure check us out. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. We're going live on both our channels. Give us a follow. Give us follows everywhere. I mean, Severe. Let the people know what they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff.
Man, you guys know what it is, man. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, X, IG. Everywhere the Severe Raider. Holla at your boy, man. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, the 50-50 show, and Around the Shield with my dog, PharoahNFL. And Sundays and Wednesdays, I'm in the Raider War Room with Chris from Protect the Shield and 805 Raider, man. So make sure y'all tap in with those as well. Make sure y'all like the video, man. Just double tap the screen. It's that easy. Make sure y'all like the video. If you're watching this later, please hype the video. And leave a comment in the comment section, man. We love to interact with the fans. And if anybody is going to be in Pittsburgh for the NFL draft, I will be there. I'll probably be out there the 22nd, to be honest with you. Because I'll probably try and land a day early to just get my bearings, get used to the time zone difference. So I'll probably be out there a day earlier, man. So tap in with your boy, man. Hit me on social media. I'll be out and about, man. Just look for the motherfucker that's yelling at everybody.
Yeah, there you go, man. There you go. Yeah, definitely follow me all over social media, PharoahNFL, Around the Shield as well on X and on IG. Give us a follow there, or give me a follow there. And then, yeah, man, hey, we'll be back at it later this week, man, Around the Shield. Continue the conversation. And I'm hoping that we're going to get the phone lines going this Thursday Around the Shield. So make sure to tune in. If you guys want to call in and chop it up and have that Raider conversation and talk about what's going on with the team and how you guys feel about the offseason so far. And, hey, free agency is around the corner. You know, it's not a lot. Hey, to be honest with you, it's not a lot of it's not the best free agency class, but there's still guys to be had. There's still some players that the Raiders can easily target, especially offensive line. You know, so we'll get into that conversation, man. We appreciate everybody pulling up. Hey, Severe, any last thoughts before we head out?
Nah, man, we gonna see. We'll see what we do, man. Like I said, I'm kind of mid right now on this coaching staff. You know, I don't hate it, I don't love it, but if we nail this offensive line coach, hey man, I'll be a very, very happy Raider fan.
Yeah.
But if we don't, y'all gonna see. I'm gonna bust out the red hat, bro. I'm gonna bust out the red.
Hey, you know what? I just forgot about that. You haven't brought out the red hat in a minute. You haven't brought that used to be your signature. That used to be the signature.
Yeah, I ain't brought out the red hat in a minute. I'm probably go back. I mean, I'll probably go back to it. To be honest with you, I'll go back to it. We'll see.
Especially the one that was clean was the one with the you know how like the logo of the Raiders with the red cap. That
with
was
the red
clean,
on it.
yeah. They should actually see if the Raiders are smart or any hat company or whatever was smart. They would actually make a version of that, like in different colors. That'd be clean.
Oh, for sure. That'd be clean.
But what they do is they'll make the entire logo one color, but they won't.
Exactly.
That's what made it different. That one, I think it was the only thing that was red was like the cap. I think.
Yeah.
The helmet. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That's like one of those. I forgot the Windows Pro. It was like a Pro one.
Yeah. Hey man. Hey, look. Hey, we'll be back at this Thursday, man. We appreciate everybody coming through, man. We'll see y'all soon, man. Peace.